This is a video response to Myles' video called Interesting People, and you're supposed to pick 3 interesting people and talk about them. Number 1. When I was a freshman a few years ago, I went to school with this particular guy who was a senior. And this guy, most days, would bring a briefcase to school instead of a backpack. And most days, with this expensive-looking briefcase, he would wear an equally expensive-looking blazer. And what was interesting to me was this juxtaposition of casually clad students walking around the halls with this guy wearing a blazer and carrying a briefcase for what seemed to me no reason, really. I think if he had looked a few years older, he would have been mistaken for a member of the staff. And even most male staffers at our school don't wear blazers or carry briefcases. This particular guy also drove a Porsche to school most days. And whenever he took a spin in his black Porsche, he would slip on a pair of black driving gloves. And I had never seen someone take driving so seriously, or their appearance at school, really. He always looked sharp and drove in style, and that was just interesting to me. Number 2. For a long time, there was a homeless lady that would sell flowers under the freeway overpass near my house. And most days she'd be out there sitting in her lawn chair and selling flowers to kind strangers. And what was interesting to me is that every time, and I mean every single time, a car passed by, she would wave and smile. And I know this was a way to draw attention to her flower selling, but it was also a very kind gesture to people on their way home from a long commute or just running errands. One day, while she was selling flowers under that freeway overpass, she was killed by a drunk driver. That happened about a year ago, but people still put flowers under the overpass where she used to wave and smile. Usually, deaths of homeless people aren't grieved by the general public, but when the flower lady died, we had all lost a friendly and familiar face that had smiled at us nearly every single day. And when she died, I felt guilty for every time I didn't reciprocate her smile and wave. She was always this strange but very nice constant whenever I was driving home. Number 3. One day last year, I had a substitute for my AP US history class. And even before I got to 5th period, my friends were telling me that the substitute was very short, had red hair, and an Irish accent. To say the least, I was very intrigued with what everyone was beginning to call the leprechaun substitute. Leave it to high school students to always assign offensive nicknames. When I walked into class and I took my seat, sure enough, there was a very short man with red hair standing at the front of the classroom. And when I say very short, I mean very short. I'm 5'4", and I'm pretty sure he was shorter than me. When the bell rang and the sub began to speak, the whole class was instantly enthralled. There were sporadic giggles when he was taking roll, and I really tried hard not to laugh because I knew it was mean and very offensive. We watched a film for most of the class, so we didn't get to hear this man talk. We could only observe. When the film was over, there was still some time left in class, so the sub decided to talk to us. People began asking where he was from, and he would always answer ambiguously, "Well, where do you think I'm from?" I can't do an Irish accent, so I'm not even gonna try. Then we became deeply suspicious when he said he had gone to our school. And the Irish population at our school has consistently been 0.00%. And then he stopped speaking in an Irish accent and replaced it with an American one and said, "Usually people make fun of me for looking like a leprechaun because I'm short and have red hair, so I thought it would be fun once in a while to talk in an Irish accent to fool people." I was stunned. We were all stunned. I had never met anyone so boldly confront the characteristics for which people make fun of them. And it made my very average day very amusing and interesting, for sure.